This is a review of how to write an equation from a graph. So there are three different forms of lines we could write for this, and there are actually several methods you can use to do so. The simplest method actually would be to use slope-intercept form. Oh, pardon me. Slope-intercept form, because from a graph, the slope and the intercept are both very, very apparent. So let's start actually with the intercept. Remember that this is the y-intercept, not the x-intercept. So the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis on this graph, is right there. So it's 4. So the y-intercept is 4. Now the slope we find by knowing the rise over run for the line. Well, you can find that by simply counting on the graph. So we need another point. So I'll draw another point here. This one is a pretty easy point to use because again it's right where 4 and 4,1 exists. So now we can go ahead and count our slope. Now notice this is a line that is decreasing. You should pay close attention to that kind of thing when you are writing. If I could spell decreasing, here we go. Decreasing. Pay attention to that in your final answer. If you have an increasing slope or a positive slope, you've done something wrong. Okay, so let's count our slope. So it doesn't matter which point you start with. You can start with this point right here and count your rise and your run to get to here, or you can start with your point here and you can count your rise and your run this direction. It does not make a difference. It'll be the same answer. So again, slope is rise over run. So if I go from, let's go from this point here to the blue point. So from here, I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, down. I'm going down when I'm counting. Remember that I'm moving negative here, positive here, positive here, and negative here. So if I'm moving down 3, that's negative 3 for my slope. So negative 3. And then my run from here is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, so positive 4, and so my run is 4. So now I know that my slope is negative 3 over 4, and I know that my y-intercept is 4, so I can write my equation in slope-intercept form. Remember that's y equals mx plus b, and so we can write y equals m is our slope, so negative 3 over 4x plus the y-intercept, which is 4. So there is our answer for the equation of this line. Now, just to make sure, and you can stop watching now if you want to, but just to make sure you know you could have used point-slope form as well. And again, point-slope form, you need a point and the slope. So you would still have done, well, you do the work either using the slope formula or by, again, counting on the graph to find your slope, and then pick one of the 2 points to use for point slope form. So let's use 4, 1 as our option. It could have been the other point as well. And so then we would write y minus the y value, and the y value over here is 1. So y minus 1 equals, we found out our slope was negative 3/4, and then x, and our x1 value is 4 right here, so if it's positive 4 on the grid, then it's going to be negative 4 or minus 4 in the equation. So there's the other option using point slope form. That's about it.